Hey everyone, welcome back to Southern Gal True Crime. 10-year-old Leigh Francis Savoie was last seen in Revere, Massachusetts on April 7th, 1974. Now, at the time he went missing, Leigh would shine shoes after school to earn some pocket money. But during the week that Leigh disappeared, he had apparently been grounded for falling behind in math. He was getting some bad grades in school. But on the day that he disappeared, his mother Dolores said that Leigh had came to ask her if he could resume his shoe shining business for some extra money. And in a news article I read, it said that the reason that Leigh wanted to go out that day to earn some extra money was so that he could buy his mom an Easter present. So Dolores said that she felt bad for him that day, so she did allow him to go out, to take his shoeshine kit to go out to make some money. So at around 11 a.m., Leigh left his residence, which was located on State Road. He was intending to go to his usual spot to shine shoes, which was at the Suffolk Downs near the racetrack. So the Downs was located next to his residence, and on his way there, he apparently stopped at a diner at Beachmont Square to grab a sandwich and a glass of milk. So after he had his sandwich and his milk, Leigh asked the owner of the establishment to watch his shoeshine kit while he left, and he told the owner of the establishment that he was going to go to the beach. He said he would be back. He said he would be back shortly, but he never returned to the diner. So of course, Dolores's mother became worried when Leigh hadn't returned by around 3 p.m. So she attempted to file a missing persons report with police, but they told her that she had to wait a few hours before they could take a report. Well, obviously, Leigh's mom did not want to wait that long, and she began searching the neighborhood for Leigh herself. And at around 4 p.m., the owner of the diner came to give Dolores Leigh's shoeshine kit. So after he was seen at the diner, Leigh has never been seen or heard from again. Investigators say they have strongly suspected that he was abducted by a non-family member, but searches which took place by police and others after he disappeared turned up no sign of him. So at the time of Leigh's disappearance, Revere, Massachusetts detective Larry Malta described how he did search for Leigh. He ran down leads in the months and years after Leigh's disappearance. Leigh's friends and schoolmates all were questioned. A thorough search of the area and surrounding towns was conducted. Flyers with Leigh's description and details surrounding his disappearance were sent nationwide. And this was back in 1974, but they were sent nationwide. Security personnel also aided the investigation by questioning hundreds of jockeys, trainers, exercise boys, van drivers, all within the stable area and the area surrounding the racetrack. So Leigh's mother Dolores and his father Lowell, they do believe that someone from the racetrack lured Leigh away from the area. Dolores, his mom, believes that whoever took Leigh possibly took his life as well. While his parents are confident that this was the case, investigators to this date have not named any strong suspects in Leigh's case. Now, in 2001, Massachusetts authorities considered the possibility that Leigh may have been a victim of serial offender Nathaniel Bar Jonah. So Bar Jonah is not a good dude. He has been linked to at least a dozen missing children and SA cases that go as far back as the 1970s. Bar Jonah was also believed to be involved in some very, very bad stuff that I'm not going to say on here because it is very, very disturbing. But as always, all the sources I use will be linked in the description box. So feel free to read them if you would like to. Bar Jonah is also considered a suspect in the 1973 Connecticut disappearance of Janice Pocket, the 1978 Massachusetts disappearance of Andrew Amato. Barjona was also previously charged with the 1996 abduction and homicide of Zachary Ramsey, who went missing from Montana in 1996. Zachary's body has never been found. And Barjona has also been mentioned in the 1997 Wyoming case of Amanda Gallion. Nathaniel Barjona did pass away of a blood clot while in prison for SA. This was in 2008. There is no evidence that he was involved in Leigh's presumed abduction, but just due to the timing and the location, that's why he has been considered. Investigators also believe that it's possible that Leigh's disappearance is connected to an SA case that occurred later in the year after Leigh disappeared. In September of 1974, 9-year-old Cliff Pisano was accompanied by 3 friends. He was going around selling used racing programs near a place called the Tea Shop. Cliff and his friends were approached by a man in a white car who asked if one of them could clean his car for $10. So Cliff did end up going with this man. This man reportedly took him to a remote area that overlooked the Logan Airport. Cliff remembers that this man dragged him on some rocks. He was SA'd, beaten, and he was eventually left for dead. But thankfully, Cliff did survive the attack. He was found the next day, and he was seriously injured, and he spent 5 weeks in a coma fighting for his life. He got out of the hospital a few months after the attack. Cliff's assailant was eventually apprehended and charged with that crime. Cliff did testify against the man, who was found guilty and sentenced to prison time. And Cliff said that he wasn't even aware at the time of Leigh's disappearance, that Leigh had disappeared that same year, because apparently there wasn't much media exposure at that time to Leigh's case. Investigators in Leigh's case say they are aware of the attack on Cliff Pisano and the man who was eventually arrested for the crime. It is unclear whether this individual is a suspect in Leigh's abduction or not, but investigators have stated that they have not ruled out foul play or anything else in Leigh's disappearance. So at the time of his disappearance, Leigh was a 3rd grade student at Louis Pasteur School. His mother said he was a good student. Leigh was one of 7 siblings. And as I said earlier, he was saving up some pocket money in order to buy his mom, Dolores, an Easter present at the time that he disappeared. His parents, Dolores and Lowell, have never stopped searching for him, and they hold on to any hope that he is still alive out there somewhere. And on the slide, the smaller picture in the very middle is an age progression of Leigh to, I believe, 60 or 61 years old, which is about the age he would be now as of 2025. So unfortunately, Leigh's disappearance is unsolved. So once again, Leigh Francis Savoie was last seen on April 7th, 1974 in Revere, Massachusetts. Is classified as a non-family abduction. He is a white male. He was 10 years old at the time he went missing. He will be 61 years old as of 2025. He had light brown hair and brown eyes. His nickname is Leigh. At the time he went missing, he was 4 foot 4 inches tall and 60 pounds. And he was last seen wearing cut-off blue shorts, a white t-shirt with the word "Try it, you'll like it" printed on it on the front, a blue sweater, and sneakers. So if you have any information regarding Leigh, what possibly could have happened to him, his whereabouts, please call the Massachusetts State Police at 508-820-2121. So this was actually a request from a family member of Leigh. His cousin had popped into one of my live streams one night when we were talking about missing persons from Massachusetts, and so she requested that, or asked me if I would do a video or something to help bring more awareness to Leigh's case, and I said, of course, absolutely. That is what I'm here for. That is what we're all here for. So if you could just please hit the like button, leave a comment below. But the most important thing you can do is share this video anywhere and everywhere you can, so that Leigh's face, his name, his story stays out there, so that he is never forgotten, especially these cold cases. This one is from 1974. These cold cases need so much attention. If you would like to learn more about missing and cold cases, please consider subscribing. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.